Hi everyone, pleased to welcome you back to another in the series of our Leading Women interviews. I'm delighted to be joined by Vanee here, who's currently the General Manager for Consumer Healthcare of Sanofi. Very impressive background at Diageo in general management as well as regional roles with GSK. So thank you for joining us. It's great to have you with us.
Thanks very much, Ree. Glad to be here and glad to participate. It's an honor.
So question one, speaking about empathy, which is an important topic these days, why do you think empathy as well as teaching empathy to executives is so important these days?
I think that it's been important for quite a while, but I think this pandemic has sort of highlighted the need with urgency, right? I think all of us know when we're undergoing times of crisis or when we're undergoing times of change, we need leaders whom we can trust. We need leaders who we know are human, who can understand us, and who can just, even be there just to listen. But for my team, it's become more real. It's getting closer to home. We've had some external representatives who have tested positive. We've had a few deaths even with some of our external partners, so it's, and, even with family members, of some of our employees. And I think empathy is the best way for that because we know, right, that they understand and that we understand their needs as leaders.
Totally agree with you. Trust is very important. And I think it also leads on to the mentorship question. And in terms of mentoring, for you, why do you feel it's so important to mentor?
Oh, so I have been lucky, throughout my career. I've had a lot of mentors and really, really good ones. My mentors also are the ones who have championed me along the way. Even if I wasn't asking for promotions, I wasn't asking for bigger roles, they were the ones who championed me. And so I've been grateful really that my career has been that way because of my mentors. And so now it's my time, it's my chance to pay it forward. I can never repay my mentors for what they did to my career, but the only way that I can repay them is by paying it forward. So love to mentor others. It's one of my passions, it's one of my purpose. And it's not just about mentoring, it's also coaching, because sometimes, it can take just a matter of some coaching conversations to help somebody and in a way help them transform, help them change things, let them have a different perspective. And so it's fulfilling in a way, and it's living my purpose really of transforming businesses. And the way that I transform businesses is really through leaders.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, great to hear. Really nice. And then, so to your mentees then, how do they differentiate themselves?
I love exploring this with them. During, I had a hiatus between my two companies. And so during that sabbatical, I had myself certified with the International Coach Federation and with Gallup Strengths Finder. And so I use these tools now to be able to help others to find their strengths and to own their strengths, and then also to find their purpose. We need to find our unique purpose in the world and how we can help. And it's really through our strengths and our unique personality and the unique skills that we have. And only then can we really feel fulfilled. It's a difficult thing, I must say, that even for me, it's been a journey. And so therefore would love really with my coaches and with my mentees going through that journey with them and finding their unique strengths, but also their unique purpose in life.
Yeah, totally agree. And it's something that's so much, it's especially, I think, relevant with millennials and like the generations coming up as well. It's important for companies actually to really articulate their purpose to potential new joiners or people coming up through the ranks. Okay, so good question. In reaching the level that you've got to, if anything, what have you had to sacrifice along the way?
So I wouldn't think of it as sacrifices more than choices. So I chose to leave the Philippines and go to Thailand. I chose to leave Asia, right, to live in the US. So there are more choices. But my biggest choice probably has been to go back to the Philippines. You know, coming from Bangkok at the time, I was in a general manager position at that time. Great country, great business, great team. But I had to make the choice, and willingly so, to go back to the Philippines, because that was the time that we found out that my husband had liver cirrhosis. Yeah, and because he was sick, we decided that it was best to be here. He needed a transplant, and so best really to be in your home country, in our home country, where family is around, and also to facilitate also the transplant. So that was a choice that we both made. Don't regret it, really, because it's opened so many other opportunities for me.
This will probably relate. So in terms of the next question, which is the bravest moment, what would that be for you, and how do you learn to be brave?
So I had Cheska in 2009 in Philadelphia during the worst snowstorm in decades in Philadelphia. And then I gave birth to Miguel in Bangkok in 2011 during the worst floods in decades also in Bangkok. So crisis is not alien to me. So in those things, right, you just gotta plow on and move on. But I think the bravest thing that I've had to do was a couple of months ago, you know, when I lost my husband. We were both in hospital for 3 months amidst the pandemic, right? So we were in hospital from October up to December. And probably the hardest thing for me was having to tell him, right? Having to tell him that, you know, we did our best, but, you know, this is it, right? This is it. I think it's being brave now for my kids, yeah, and creating a future for them now. And even for me, you know, I would look at it now as something different. Yeah, it's what I'm excited about now is creating a new life for me and for my kids. You know, now that we don't have to compromise a lot of things, you know, because we've had to compromise some things because he was sick. Now we don't have to, you know, so that's what's exciting now. And that is probably what's adding to the bravery, right? It's looking for something to look forward to and looking at the positive side of things and taking a look at what you can learn out of the experience. So now I'm all about recreating myself and what I do now with the rest of my life and also the future that I would want to create for my kids.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. It's incredibly inspiring, you know, to see how, you know, positive you are for the kids and everything. So no, very admirable. So no, I really appreciate. Thank you for sharing that with us, because it's a very inspiring story, Vanee. Okay, this is quite an interesting point about the generations. Obviously, you've been in some significant leadership roles. You've, you know, been, as you say, in the US. You've been in Thailand, here. So I can imagine there have been a lot of leadership lessons along the way. If you had to pick one, which would be a key leadership lesson?
One lesson that I would really value was from my mentor. And we were having one of our monthly chats. And then he told me, "Oh, Vanee, you know, I really would welcome the day when you're just looking outside your window. You're looking far out, and then you're just thinking. And you're just thinking about the future, and you're not concerned about the present." And then he said, "You know, I would really value that day, and therefore you need a team underneath you who's really better than you, you know, fantastic, so that they will allow you and they will enable you to think about the future and not about the operations." And then that's one lesson that has been with me throughout my career.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you so much. Your story is very inspiring, and it's not easy always to do these things and share so much, and it's very inspirational to myself, and I'm sure anyone that will join us for this. So thank you so much. Really pleasure talking to you, Vanee.
Oh, thank you, and glad to be here. Really welcome these opportunities.
Perfect.